Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I'm Brett's View of Politics, coming at you with a video live. 2 hours ago, the Wagner chief accused the Russian military leadership of killing a huge amount of his fighters in a strike on the main Wagner base just near Bakhmut. This is huge news. Russians fighting Russians who were both previously working together to fight Ukrainians. He said that the Russian Defense Ministry deceived them, deprived them of the opportunity to defend themselves, and how he was supposedly ready to compromise with the Ministry of Defense and hand over weapons, but they basically declined, and that is, of course, huge news. The Wagner Group has been, for roughly a few weeks, months now, saying, oh, we dislike the Russian high command for the military, but not Putin himself. He's very aware that saying something about Putin would probably lead to a threat to his life, whereas right now he's just in big trouble with the military. The state media said that they were investigating the Wagner chief, and many Ukrainians mentioned how this was going to be like a very tumultuous time, especially in that section of the front near Bakhmut, which is where the Wagner group is concentrated. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry said that they are just watching, and then state media later confirmed that his actions will be given proper assessment in a criminal case, meaning because it's Russia, he would likely be locked away for a very long time. Should this be true that Putin was in fact being targeted by Yevgeny Prigozhin, but also if Yevgeny Prigozhin was just targeting the senior officers of the military, potentially even with Putin's backing, this will probably go nowhere. From that, we got a bunch of reactions. We said Prigozhin, apparently, this is according to one investigative journalist, has a 25,000 strong army. Other military correspondents said that he's got, once again, a pretty large army, but this is not a revolution, and he's not attacking the authorities except for the already so-called hostile military towards him. In this case, that would just appear to be the Russian military high command, Sergei Shoigu. And you can see here, there's no evidence, apparently, that there is an attack on the Wagner fighters or that he's leading columns anywhere. But this was later counteracted. A lot of pro-war correspondents said that basically he's trying to commit a coup d'etat. A lot of other Kremlin spokespeople are saying that there are just general updates being given to Putin, but nothing yet. A pro-Russian military blogger said that the country's on the verge of a military coup. So there's a lot of stuff happening. We have Russian state TV fighting back just a few minutes later. Then, look at this. This is the big news, because this is where we realize, oh wait, this is actually significant. Video appeared to show Russian military vehicles driving near the State Duma. Now, that never happens. The Duma in Russia is the equivalent of the United States Capitol building, or the main Parliament building in the United Kingdom. It's the legislature, the seat of the main legislature, or the lower house, at least, of the legislature. And this is a major news story, because obviously, not only do you have someone saying, well, I'm fighting the military now, the military fought me, but also you have the Russians themselves are reinforcing Moscow, the State Duma, with the legislature. And then we also found that there were flashing beacons on and in the west of Rostov, and sounds of flying aircraft are heard. So once again, we really don't know. The U.S. said they were monitoring it. And then later on, we had the Russian security service urging Wagner fighters to ignore Prigozhin's orders and detain him. So this next 24-hour period is going to be very crucial, because if Prigozhin is detained, this shows Russia's security services in control. But if Wagner is still running around, either A, Putin is allowing him to do so and is hamstringing the main Russian military's ability to detain him, or B, Putin has entirely lost control of the situation. So we really don't know which of those two it is yet. Russian commanders urged him to stop and obey the will of the president, but the president hasn't stated any will yet, other than just saying everyone should kind of calm down. He's not said, Prigozhin's going to be in jail. He said, we'll look at it a little bit. Nothing much. Then we, of course, found security measures stepped up in Moscow. The defense ministry accused Kiev of taking advantage of Prigozhin's attack on the military, or at least stated attack. And then 17 minutes ago, and this is where it was like, okay, what is going on now? The Wagner chief says his fighters are entering Rostov region. Now, Rostov is a major city. It's the headquarters of the Russian attack into southern Ukraine. Rostov is just to the east of Donetsk Oblast, for those of you who know where it is. Donetsk is the most southeast oblast of Ukraine. It's also one of the most populated, most industrious, and Rostov is one of the most developed regions of Russia outside of the main Moscow, St. Petersburg, major cities. Rostov isn't really a major city, but it is a major military base, and so that's why it's important. And so when the Wagner chief says his fighters are entering the Russian headquarters for the invasion of southern Ukraine, it is major news. He said the border guards came out to meet and hugged our fighters. Once again, we don't actually know if this is true. He also said we'll destroy anything that gets in our way, probably talking about main elements of the Russian military who intend to fight him. He said that the Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Valery Gerasimov, the chief of the general staff, were making a decision to destroy the disobedient units of Wagner Group that are ready to protect Russia. So once again, he's just reiterating his main claim. He's only fighting the Ministry of Defense. He's not fighting the main Russian government under Putin. And then 16 minutes ago, we had the Russian prosecutor general, so like the main person in charge of all of the prosecuting in Russia, right? He says that he's reported to Putin on a criminal case against Prigozhin. So that, once again, likely indicates that Putin is probably not happy with this. But once again, we don't really know. Putin is well known for making it look like he's doing one thing and then choosing another. And here we really don't know. What we do know, however, is that not only did they say they'd enter Rostov right here, but we also had news that, the General Valery Gerasimov right here, he claimed that he scrambled warplanes. So that tells you right there, it's apparently out of nowhere. That's what the claim is that he scrambled them. It wasn't an organized attack. It was just he sent them up, and then they flew in and they bombed these Wagner Group soldiers. And he also claimed it's not a military coup, but a march of justice, whatever that means. But the FSB has urged him, of course, to arrest him. It called his statements a stab in the back to Russian troops already on the front line. And he said the criminal investigation was justified. An armed rebellion charge carries a charge of up to 20 years of imprisonment. So Prigozhin would be locked away for a long time. But this has been a conflict that was long in the works. Now, maybe not a rebellion or an attack on Russians or attack on the Wagner Group, but there had been a lot of snipping between Prigozhin and the main Russian military leadership for a very long time. So this is, of course, major breaking news, and we really don't know what's going to happen next. We're all going to be waiting for the next 24 hours. Is Prigozhin detained? If yes, that means Putin's in control. Putin is fighting the military. Option B, he's detained on the orders of the military, but not Putin. That's a whole separate thing. And then, of course, what happens if he's not detained? If he's not detained, does that mean Putin's allowing it? Or does that mean Putin has effectively lost control of the situation? So, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned, and there'll probably be a video out on this either tomorrow or the day after, whenever we get a major update on the situation. So once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.